So it's my pleasure to welcome Phil Sudbury here, a good friend of mine here from Singapore. He has been living and working in Malaysia for quite a long time, and he will share quite a few insights with us today, which I'm very excited about. Welcome, Phil.
Thank you, Ronald, and thank you, Sam.
Excellent. Good. Phil, maybe you can introduce yourself a little bit, that we can find out more about you. Where are you originally from? How long have you been in Asia? What's your background?
And thank you very much, Ronald. And so, absolute pleasure to be here today and to talk to you both. My name's obviously Phil. I've been in Asia now for 18 years, working in Asia for 18 years and spent my time delivering projects around Asia. Prior to that, I was UK based and Europe based, but Asia is now my home. In my current role, I look after construction projects for Dexcom, medical device company, and we manufacture and supply continuous glucose monitoring devices that help people manage their diabetes and their general health.
If we're looking at your experience, right, 4.5 years in Malaysia, construction process, a project also going through COVID at the same time, right, and still delivering projects pretty much on time, if I remember correctly. What was kind of your experience working in Malaysia?
I mean, to start with, Malaysia is an absolutely great place to do business and to live. It's made attractive by the government, the investment, investment incentives. It's very well managed by the government bodies, who obviously encourage investment. It's like a one-stop shop, single point of contact for everything you need to do to navigate through all the various different authorities. Very friendly, very welcoming, and certainly in our business, the proximity of the supply chain to us was a huge advantage. I mean, obviously the food is also great, which helps. I think the biggest challenges there for me, certainly has been and certainly is still now a heated market. Big investments can come very, very quickly. Week after week, there'll be mega projects announced one after the other, and sitting there being responsible for delivering the project, you sort of think, well, how is the infrastructure and all of the people, how is it going to cope, and how are we going to be able to serve all of these mega investments that come to Malaysia? It is also true that they can go quickly. Sometimes big investments are a little bit fragile on the business case, and one minute it's, there's a huge investment around the corner, and the next it can be cancelled. But generally, I think you feel the peaks and the troughs a little bit harder. And with that, staff retention is a real challenge. There's always exciting projects, exciting things going on, and to be able to hold on to key talent through the business and through the organisation is always a real challenge. As well as certainly on the construction projects, skills shortages. Generally, you've got the general worker community who are imported labour, and then it's a big jump up to sort of supervisor, manager level. So that kind of middle level of management that you would want on your construction sites in some numbers to be able to supervise the work and to make sure that we're getting the productivity that we need is a real challenge. So hopefully that sort of answers the question. I'm conscious it is a little bit construction bias in my answer.
So besides having them on speed dial, right? I mean, from a project management point of view, it is a significant investment, tight timelines, COVID on top. What would you describe were some of the key success factors which enabled you to still deliver in Malaysia, also considering maybe the cultural aspects of things?
I think it's clear, to establish the bridge between multinational companies in the West through to, how we need to do things in the East to get things delivered. Lots of examples there, again, somewhat specific to my industry, but even things like international standards and international design, sometimes things are just done differently. And actually, when you stop and look at them, they're actually perfectly fit for purpose, and trying to enforce something that's done somewhere else in a country that doesn't do it that way, it doesn't work. Or it's a much more painful journey. So having an appreciation for how things are done locally, and then having the local teams, the local individuals, the local organizations to build that bridge, who understand the local context, who can kind of interpret it into the messages and the description that we need to be able to relay that to our stakeholders and to our customers overseas, I think is absolutely critical. And I think with that, I think the relationship side of things in Malaysia is particularly important, and the relationships in business are very important, full stop. But genuinely, I think the relationship side of things in Malaysia is even more important. The Malaysian people are very proud people, and rightly so. It's an amazing country, from the food, the culture, the camaraderie, and I always think kind of showing some appreciation for the country and how people go about doing things really goes a long way. And so being able to kind of have that bridge into the local culture, and how things are done, and having those relationships, I think people use the relationship side of things a lot more than they perhaps do in other countries, where people will do things because it's their job. If you've got those relationships with the local teams, and you've also got the local ability to be able to interpret the needs or to understand the way things are done locally, people will bend over backwards to get things done for you. And you'll get things done much more quickly and much more effectively than relying on somebody to do it because it's their job. So yeah, I genuinely believe the relationship side of things is incredibly important for getting things done, and to be able to get things done more quickly and more effectively.
Yeah. So what I learned is that Malaysia is pro business, and respect is very important, for sure, and also relationship. Is there one piece of advice you would give someone, company, decision maker in Europe, in Germany, who is thinking about investing in Malaysia?
Is finding the local people who understand the local context, and they can provide the bridge into international business, who can help you interpret what is required locally, and why things are done that way. And so this is probably two bits. So that would be the first bit. And then the second one is relationships. Build the relationships, develop the, what do we actually mean by relationships? And for me, it is around having the informal conversations and having the informal relationships, and building the bridges will take you much further than anything else you could do, probably.
Thank you very much, Phil. Really appreciate all your insights, and you have done an incredible job there. I know that beside Malaysia, you also started now the next big project in Ireland, if I'm not mistaken. So you're traveling the world again. So yeah, I know it's a very challenging environment, but I think we see, and you are one of the examples of how to make it work in a Malaysian context. So yeah, really, really grateful for your time today, and yeah, wishing you all the best, and see you soon.
And thank you for kind words there, Ronald. Absolute pleasure to speak with you both.
Thank you, Phil. Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.